today's quick card, we're going to make this card, and we're using the JND416 lattice edges. We're also using the shadow leaves, and we're using the stitched flower or stitched daisy die. And this is the quick card we're going to make. So, using the lattice strip with the dots either side and the two lattice panels, I've cut this panel down. So this panel is 4 by 7. It's all based around a 5 by 7. So cut those two panels. I've then taken a piece of card, and this is the wisteria card. I'll pop this one together again so that you can see. And this time I've added onto it, so it's actually cut to 4.5 by 7.5, and simply cut this in the middle with the lattice strip that has the dots either side. And this is all we need to do to create a perfect split background. So, taking a piece of card that's 5 by 7, I've added foam tape onto the back of the first panel in wisteria, and I'm simply going to add that down to the piece just there. I'm going to do the same with the other opposing piece of wisteria. Because this is 4.5 inches that we've cut, and the panel we're sticking to is 5 inches, it will give us a 1/2 inch gap in the middle. So I'm matching that edge to edge, and that gives us the perfect 1/2 inch. The next two panels have been cut down to 4 inches. So that will give us an inch separation between each of these layers. So again, I'm simply going to take this and add this on there. So we get it showing on one side, and I'll do exactly the same on the other side. And that way we get this perfect gap through the middle. I've then taken a card blank which has been cut to 6 by 8, and I've matted and layered this with apple green, coconut white, and more of the wisteria cardstock. And we're just going to add that on. And that gives us our base card. And I've done this as a side fold card so that it works that way. So now the flowers. In the stitch daisy or the stitch flower, I've cut these. I'm not going to be using the centre on this, but I've simply cut these to size. So we have 2 of the large, 2 of the medium, and 2 of the small. And using the Ice White Pearl Fusion ink, I'm simply going to take a finger dauber and whiten the centre of each of these flowers. It's so much easier on the mat because they don't move. And then holding in the air, I'm simply going to flick a little bit of white ink on the edge of each petal so that we get that really nice shaded. You can, again, if you want to, because we're not bothered about this being too heavy and we're using white, you can do this down on the mat, just like this. Take a little bit more of the ink and add that on. I just want to do all of these so that I can show you all of them put together. So this video card is more about the flowers. Here we go. So just adding a little bit of ink onto the edge of each petal. And that's using Pearl Fusion in Ice White. Simply then, using the Craft Artist glue glaze, I'm just going to put a little bit in the centre of each size of flower and rotate them so that they fit on top, just like that. Nice and simple. There we go, giving me my 3 flowers. And to add a little bit of interest in the middle, you can use the centres from the die itself to pop that colour back. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take 3 of those. So again, just add a little bit of glue glaze into the centre. And we're just going to drop one of those into the middle of each. And to add a little bit of depth and dimension, I'm just going to add one of the Craft Artist dewdrops into the centre of each piece. So using the pickup tool, I'm just going to add a dewdrop into the centre of each of those 3 flowers. And then here I've got, using the shadow leaves, I've just used the largest dies in the set, cutting the apple green. I have the leaves going left and right. So we're just simply going to arrange those around here. So nice and simple. Again, using glue glaze, and this is the easiest way to glue these on. So just pop a little bit on each leaf. I'm going to pick that up and have them going one way, and do the same with the opposing leaves. And keeping that to this sort of left hand side, and then I'm simply going to add my beautiful stitched flowers onto there, just putting a little bunch of them on, and there we go. A beautiful quick card made in no time at all.